Life's a game and you're here to play it. That phrase might rub you up the wrong way because no one actually likes thinking of life as a game. Because how dare you treat it so lightly and other people could get hurt and just, no, it's serious, it's living, it's like you take it on seriously, which I'm all for. And also, if life's a game, then everyone's out to win and everyone's there trying to get and that. But John Piaget, known as developmental psychologist, thanks to John Vervaeke, I know that's not all he is anymore, he had a very deep reverence for the place of play. He believed that play was basically the foundation for everything, every social interaction, and we are social creatures. So everything really came down to play. And really for us, trying to interpret it, it's really just a definition thing. As in, like, we just kind of naturally think play is just what the kids do. This is running around playing tag. This is sports for, like, as you get older. And then after that, we don't necessarily play too often. But if we think of what play is volunteering. So participation has to be voluntary, otherwise it's not that fun of a game and everyone kind of stops playing. So it's a voluntary participation in an agreed upon set of rules that rewards you. Now, often it's an agreed upon set of rules in a agreed upon direction, but not always. So it really boils down to that. Voluntary participation in something, whatever it is, that rewards. And if we have that definition of play, then yes, everything is a game, because we want everything to be voluntary and rewarding. We want our relationships to be a game. We want our workplace to be a game. We want everything, really. With that definition, we want to voluntarily participate in it, and we want the task to be rewarding. So with that, I would invite you to kind of just revive your sense of play and come back into, like, is it rewarding me? Is it fun? Am I voluntarily participating in it, or am I being forced into it? If so, who's forcing me? And if so, why am I letting them, or whatever else? And on the reward front, is the reward enough to actually keep me going, to keep me interested? Is the reward still the reward I want? All of those questions. So, revive your sense of play. Have a bit of a smirk, a bit of a glint in your eye when approaching life. But there is still a but. There is that last part. If life's a game, don't take it seriously. You could hurt other people. And then the last one was, if life's a game, everyone's going to try and win. And everyone's going to try and extract as much as they can to give them the best odds of winning. That one is up for the moral philosophers among us. Because I do believe that that's really another kind of definition issue. It depends how narrow or wide your scope is. Because, as like we all know, the psychopath, and that's when the scope is like all the way zoomed in. And it's like just every interaction I'm playing, like the psychopath will be playing a game and trying to get as much as they can out of it. But psychopaths are only 3% of the population for a reason, because as a strategy, it's not actually that effective, because you tend not to be able to stay in one place for too long. Your reputation doesn't tend to survive. And again, we're social creatures, so there's like an immune response to that type of behavior. So we can widen out the lens a little bit and say, hey, in work perhaps, I'm not trying to get everything I can get out of each individual worker and all the rest, and we're going to try and team spirit. There's something above us. There's a spirit amongst us that we subserve ourselves to. We are in service of that team spirit. Perhaps that'd be a good way of doing it. And again, we can be selfish in this. We can still say, I want to be the leader. I want to choose the direction. I want to do whatever else. But saying, like I was recently talking about Nelson Mandela and the fact that he just pulled the whole country together in a time, like at that time, there's no one belief system or culture or anything in Africa. So like at the time, he was straddling quite a few different things, and he was able to still forge on. And I believe his wife left him as well because she still wanted to fight, and like come on, if your wife says to you, it's like, hey, if you're a real man, you'd keep fighting. As I'm like, that's hard. And like, my utmost gratitude for him having that fortitude and stoicism and everything else. But I do believe the only way to get around that sort of pull on your ego, that pull on you as a person, is to subserve yourself to something else, which is peace amongst your nation, perhaps, or just peace amongst your family, or getting whatever victory, whatever win, whatever direction, whatever purpose that captures that team spirit, that is, and saying, hey, I get you, I feel you, I like that hits me, and I'm so sorry, but I can't because. And I think that's the way you kind of straddle those two that kind of duality. So again, I'm going to say that everything comes down to play. And even for the bad faith actors, I think their lens is just simply too small, because if you wanted to really win the game and you wanted to be the leader of a nation, you wanted to be president, you wanted to be the CEO of a company, you wanted to be the most charismatic guy around, you want to be the person that all the ladies want, you want to be whatever it is, some sort of pinnacle, some sort of something. Your pinnacle of something, whether it's charisma, whether it's drive, whether it's motivation, whether it's strength, whether it's skill, whatever else it is, you are subserving to something bigger. So you still have self-interest. I'm not trying to get away from this at all. As in, we are selfish creatures. We 100% are. But in playing the game, we have to choose our profession. We have to choose our career. We have to level up certain skills for a dream, for a hope, for something else. And that's our game. And in playing that game, it's no longer selfish. It's no longer taking. It's no longer what I can get, what I can extract, and all the rest. And it is in service of something bigger. And once it's in service of something bigger, then we no longer want to extract as much as we can, because that person might be useful somewhere down the line. If you want to be real pragmatic about it, they could be something. Or else it could just be a follower, or else it could just be reputation. Like, whatever way it plays out, that person is no longer just an object, no longer just a thing. That person is now a person. And you want to be in good relation to each and every person, because you want to be high in the hierarchy of people. Not in the hierarchy of things. Not that you get everything you can and then you buy something big and then it's just ta-da. It's like, you're in the wrong direction if you're going that way. And you're not playing. That's coming out of need, that's coming out of whatever else. But it's not play. And the reason that can go that way is because the rules aren't fair, and we can feel unjustly done, and we can feel, if the rules aren't fair, then why are we playing by them? But again, it's all in relation to play. It's like, you broke the rules of the game, therefore I'm stopping, I'm not playing anymore. But it all comes down to play. So I'm going to leave it there. That realization that everything kind of boils down to play has actually been quite a big thing for me lately. It has allowed me to treat life as a game, but also be serious and understand the pitfalls and everything else of it. But just aiming everywhere in my life to have everything be voluntary and rewarding, and then just to label that as play lets me do it with a cheeky smile, and I'm all for that. So hopefully you get something from this. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe, please. And I've no kind of, I can't give you any more. It's the end of the video, so but please. Anyway, I will see you next week, guys. Have a good one. Bye.